Yeah, it's just an update in relation to the search. As you know, Shayla went missing at 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday. We put a concerted effort in to locate Shayla, and that effort hasn't diminished. We're still using the same resources. We have air resources, we have ground resources. We're using the same assets to safely locate Shayla. We've also expanded the search area, and we've also expanded our resources. We've also, on top of the Tasmania Police search and rescue capacity, the State Emergency Service wilderness searches, the all-terrain vehicles, we're also using horses, and Parks and Wildlife have come on board to be searching tracks with us as well. And we've also sought some assistance from our colleagues in Victoria Police, who have also been assisting in relation to the search effort.
Gavin, I know Shayla's mother Bianca was feeling relatively optimistic yesterday. How is she today?
She is still maintaining a positive bent. She's, as I said, she's a stoic and a strong woman. She, like us, holds grave concerns for Shayla, but she knows that we're doing everything we can do to safely locate her as soon as we can.
We're now into day 3. Are you concerned you're not going to find her alive?
This is still a search and rescue operation. The conditions are still conducive to finding her alive and safe, and that's been our focus for today. We've gone out with our flight and our air assets. We're able to take it out 7 kilometres, so we are going quite broadly in relation to that. That's upon advice about how far a person can travel and that type of thing. So it's out to 7 kilometres now.
I'm interested. I've noticed some marking on some trees that SES take. What is that marking actually? Does it mean anything?
It's probably just a guide for them as to where they may have searched before if they need to plot. We do keep comprehensive notes. Our search controller and our search coordinator need to know where we've been, where we've double-checked, triple-checked, so it's probably a marker.
Are you still confident that there aren't any suspicious circumstances around Shayla's disappearance?
With any missing person operation such as this, the search and rescue focus is one that we hold to, but concurrently we also have an investigation side of it. That's where that can assist us with information to direct our search activities. There's been nothing through that investigative process which has drawn us to suspicious activity at this time, so there's no person of interest at this stage.
At this stage, I suppose, more than Shayla's been in the wilderness for 2 nights, why are you growing more concerned for her safety?
Well, I suppose it's the age of Shayla, the conditions she's presented with, the medical advice that we're given. So, she may be, my grave concern is she may be injured in the bush. We're treating this search that she's 4 years old. She won't present to us. We actually have to find Shayla. We have to get down on our hands and knees. We have to search everywhere. So that's my concern, is that also with a 4-year-old, she could be disorientated, she should be confused, she could be scared. She won't approach to us. So that's where our concerns are held.
Are there particular elements of the search that are difficult for you guys? I know obviously you're combating cooler conditions and dark nights, but we noticed this morning when the SES is sort of sifting through that shrub, it's quite high off the ground. Is that one of the challenges?
It is, and as I said also, we can't just dismiss those areas either. We do have to get down on our hands and knees and call out to Shayla. So the terrain and the topography, the conditions are difficult, and it's credit out, especially to our State Emergency Service volunteers who are doing this in their own time. My hat goes off to them.
What are the resources that have been sent from Victoria to assist?
So Victoria have offered their resources, air assets, and also a tracker dog. Last night Victoria Police sent down a fixed-wing aircraft that actually arrived here at 11 p.m. to support our local effort. That remained here till 3 o'clock in the morning. And also today we've had arrive a tracker dog, which is also assisting in the search effort, and very shortly we'll also be having our Victoria Police helo to assist us. We have that capability already in Tasmania, however they come to support us in our efforts. And also from an interstate perspective, it's an opportunity for them to test their own capability, so they use that as an opportunity as well to upskill themselves.
Gavin, we know some new pictures of Shayla are set to be released, and we're seeing a few more pop up on Facebook and things from family. Do you think that just really, shows how young and happy and healthy this little girl was?
Exactly, and as I reported yesterday, she's a happy, healthy 4-year-old. That gives me some hope. There's no medical issues for her, so those positives are good, that we still hold a lot of hope that we'll find Shayla alive and well.
Are you having much information come from the community that's assisting in the search?
We do get bits of information, and every bit of information is followed up, but there's been nothing we consider vital that's assisted us to a genuine lead at this point in time. On the note about the community, I'd just like to say that the effort and the interest and the concern that we received, especially from the Highcroft and the Stormlea community, has been really good, really encouraging. Even though we've got the resources and the skills here to conduct this search and we don't need boots on the ground as such, an example is the local Country Women's Association have been here, just making sure that the volunteers are well fed and well watered. So just their interest, they know that they can't assist with the search effort as such, but that they can assist in other ways, and they've been very helpful for us.
If the search doesn't turn up any results by the end of the day, will it continue into tomorrow?
Yes, it will continue.
Yes. And do you have any particular time period before?
No, not at this point in time. My objective is a search and rescue operation with a view to safely locating Shayla. We take other aspects into consideration, but they're not at the forefront of my mind at the moment.
And obviously you're asking the community not to try and aid in the search. Can you explain why that is?
That's because we do have the resources and the expertise that we need. One instance is that we don't want to be searching for a searcher. We don't want people who are unskilled being in bad terrain, bad conditions, and we have to deploy resources to locate a person when our effort should be solely focused on Shayla.
Last night, we could see some drones up over the plantation. I believe the helicopter was also up last night. You mentioned the fixed wing. What kind of technology do they use to search when it's dark?
Well, they can use thermal resonant imagery, that type of thing. They've got resources on board that they can, if they've got screeners on that actual aircraft, and if they see any objects of interest, they can guide us in to check it on the ground.
And you mentioned, I'll just clarify, you mentioned the word helo, one of the things.
Oh, sorry, helicopter. Yeah, sorry.
Will tonight be, assuming you're still looking for Shayla, which hopefully you will have found her by then, but will tonight be similar to last night, where the resources was reduced to sort of the 14 that stays overnight and then ramps up again?
We didn't reduce it. We actually still maintained the effort, but it was we used the fixed wing aircraft till 3 in the morning. We also had drones up as well. We're conscious of not having the drone up at the same time as the fixed wing aircraft, so it's more of a staggered approach that we coordinate them. So no, the effort certainly isn't reduced, and it's maintained 24/7.
And that's what we can expect to happen until Shayla is found?
Yes, we'll continue the search. My object at the moment is to search until Shayla is located safe.
And are you recovering ground today that you've previously covered, which I suppose would make sense considering how dense the underbush is?
We do. We've checked and we've rechecked. One scenario is that perhaps Shayla might have been in one location, is still mobile. We will go and recheck those areas again.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you would want to add, I guess, that you haven't really touched on there? We might just start with just get your first name, last name, and title.
Yeah, perhaps I can. So, Jonathan Higgins, I'm the Assistant Commissioner of Operations.
We need Jonathan a bit closer to the microphone. I guess, Jonathan, can you tell us or add anything to what Gavin has told us, and I guess what role have you played in the search thus far?
Yeah, so my role is I oversee operations for the state, so the geographical districts, and in doing that, supporting the everything the Southern District needs to actually undertake these searches. So I want to start with saying that thanking everybody that's actually been participating in the search and helping and reaching out around the state and around the country as far as that goes, and actually around the world as well. We get support for if there's anything else that we need, or any advice or otherwise to actually do that. And we've seen that particularly with Victoria Police, who are a very close partner because they're our closest neighbour, I guess, across the water there. And we saw this recently with an exercise we did in Launceston where we're able to be interoperable. So the fixed wing that Inspector Hallett was talking about, the capability there is it can stay in the air for much longer. So the 4 hours it was in the air last night circling over the top and using its imagery meant that it was able to feed any information to the ground crews. Now the reason we don't have lots of people on the ground at that time is we're trying to find essentially single heat signatures to be able to check and not have everybody being picked up on that. The dog that's being used from Victoria Police is enhancing our capability, and it's again assisting in the efforts for that, and shortly you'll see another helicopter from Victoria as well, which is complementing our own helicopters we have in here, Tasmania, and just providing extra resources for us, as often happens and can happen at any time in any circumstance where we can get assistance from any of the states, and that's the greatness in the partnerships we have with other jurisdictions. But this extends into our partnerships across police, fire and ambulance as well, and SES, where everybody jumps in. The volunteer groups, like you said, the horses and other volunteer groups that will also assist. Now, I did hear the question about why we don't want everybody turning up to the site to help, and it is really about that coordination, to make sure we're coordinating people. We have people that have the right equipment, doing it in a manner that have an understanding about how to search, where to search, and don't then become, as Inspector Hallett said, someone that we may need to search for or assist afterwards. So we can keep account of everyone and do it that way. So Tasmania Police are doing everything we possibly can to bring little Shayla back safely to her mum, and we will continue that. So there are many aspects to missing people, and it's all happening, as you can see, playing out here with the searchers on the ground here. There are people behind the scenes doing intelligence work and looking at the maps and so forth to provide extra assistance where they can.
Jonathan, we have seen in the past children go missing in, I guess, similar sort of settings interstate, and they have been found over after spending a couple of days in the bush. Do you take confidence in those sort of scenarios that you might have a good outcome here?
Absolutely. We need to be positive that there'll be a good outcome. But we will continually reassess as well and take advice from the medicos and experts as well. But it is only a couple of days in. The weather has been quite good. Yes, we're into autumn, but I think we should, and this is the reason I said about getting learnings from other states. So we do reach out and speak about their experience with people that have been looking for, and certainly techniques and resources they might use to actually get successful outcomes.
How does the level of resources that are being used for this search compare to other searches for missing persons in Tasmania over that you've observed, I suppose, over your career with police?
Oh, very similar. So with missing people, particularly in a setting like this, as such, as opposed to an urban setting in the city, we will put as many people into as we possibly can, and that you're seeing that right now here with the number of staff that are actually helping.
And can I just ask, or you might suggest if Gavin's the right person to ask this, what is the mood amongst all of the police and the SES volunteers and the people who are taking part in this search?
I can speak to that. So the mood, they're very professional. So whether it's our swarm members, the volunteers, or the people who have come to help on horseback, there is a positive mood. There'll be apprehension. We're now a couple of days in, but people that are here are searching. You can take comfort in that they are here for the right reason, to find little Shayla.
Great.
Thank you.
So much. Appreciate that.
Thanks.